And we are back here once again with another episode of the Cloud9 podcast, season 11, episode 5. And BLG have won the LPL 2024 spring split. Shocker, I tell you, complete shocker. Wasn't like everyone had predicted for that, literally since, we got wind of Knight joining the roster and replacing Yagao. But yes, BLG and Top Esports, T1, Gen G, FlyQuest, Team Liquid, Fnatic, and G2 will be the major region teams attending MSI. Then you have your teams from, PCS, CBLOL, LLA, and I think that's it, actually. Well, we got a lot to talk about in today's episode. We will be talking about the 2024 LPL Spring Split Finals, and we'll be going over I Will Dominate's insane roster change video. But joining me here in this episode of the Cloud9 podcast is Mr. Blanks. What's up, man? How have you been doing?
Crazy day, man. A lot of shit done. Watched a lot of content, played a lot of Pokemon. I was going to stream, but I ended up on someone else's stream, and I was watching one stream while he was watching another. Because both the YCS and Pokemon Regionals were on this weekend, as well as some League Cups. I was watching them. I was supposed to be at one now, but I was like, I don't like going to League Cups at night. Like, if I have a car, yeah. If I have to depend on somebody else, nah. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm not going. Cause that I'm just chilling. Yo, that Chris Brown diss track. Oh my god, that is.
What happened? What did he do?
You ain't here? Oh man,
you think I'm watching these people spitting their bars? What the hell?
Yeah, man. Oh, yo, my friend saw some of the stream last night. He wondered, do these guys really hate black people the way they do? I was like, dude, I can't speak on the other two. MSK, he doesn't hate him. He just, I don't know. It's weird because it's like,
how in the world could someone take that from how much we were laughing? There's no way someone took that seriously. That person. But
the issue is, it was the way you guys are saying it. Sometimes people laugh and it'll be serious, because where I come from, people laugh at serious shit. That's why I was like,
yeah.
Sometimes you can't.
South, technically.
Sometimes you can't tell if someone's joking, or someone's serious.
That was crazy. Good. Everyone's laughing.
But where they laugh, it's one of those things. Why were they laughing? That's the whole thing too.
That person like a mind reader? Like, I don't know. There's no way I would know that stuff.
It is. He watched the whole stream. I was like, wait, I didn't send you the link, because sometimes I'll share the video, I'll share the stream and have people watch it. Like, I didn't send them. I was like, because
he probably follows. He probably subscribes or follows. You have to.
Yeah,
I don't know who he is,
because he was the same one that said he liked it when you and Professor Savage talk. He's like, I feel like when they have the conversation, when he does the one-on-ones, but I was like, because he's not pro-black. He's one of those, like, he agreed, but it was one of those things where he felt uneasy on how hard, like, it's one of those things, it was back in the day. It's the whole thing where, like, when I used to be like, yo, I don't like being around niggas after 10 o'clock, because something always bad happens. But I never try to laugh at it. I'll be dead serious. You guys were being dead serious, but then you were laughing at it, and then it felt like, was it one of those things where you was trying to get a laugh at it because you was around people, and he was like, are the other people black? I was like, most of them had the cameras on. That's when you would tell there. It was like there's 3 black people, the rest are white, and that's where he was like,
that's weird.
Like, no, it's not weird. Okay.
What do you mean? That kind of is a little weird. That's how I see it.
I mean, you see it. I understood. I understood where it come from. It was weird because it was the way he was trying to describe it. I was trying to.
No. I was saying it's a little weird for someone to say, like, are they black? So can they laugh at like black jokes? That's weird.
No. That wasn't the thing. It was.
Okay.
It was how they made the statement and then how hard you guys were laughing. It's one of those things where it's like why are they laughing at her? They're not laughing because they're not black. It was like, was it that funny? I was like, or am I missing it? And I was like, I understood where it was coming from because it's one of those things where it's like, are they showing out? Because it's one of those, you know how sometimes I tell you people do stuff subconsciously and it don't come off you as one way? It's the whole thing with Dave Chappelle back in the day. Yeah. Are they laughing at me or laughing with me when he did certain jokes that were, you think they're just jokes. Some black people, they're painting black people in a bad way. And then the white people say, it's just comedy. You know, it's no.
We're watching Boondocks clips, which is literally rooted in black people stereotype satire. That couldn't even be more like.
But it was the black people that kept bringing up the clips. It's one of those things where it's like, are they trying to appeal to the white people? That's the thing, because that's the thing that I think he got uneasy about. He laughed at the clips, but then it was the people laughing, and then it was one of those things. There was the one moment. It was like he understood why they were laughing. He's like, okay, why did like certain things get pointed out? And then I was like, I understood where he's coming from. I was like, okay, because it's one of those things where you remember back in the day, with the old people, where it was like, are they laughing at the joke or are they laughing with the joke? It's one of those things where it's like, I understood him. I was like, dude, I told him, I said the same to you, or I'm not a mind reader. If, like, do I think, just like black people? No, because.
Yeah, because with again, that, what you just said right there. Yeah. If I don't, because like, I'm not trying to basically be the mind reading censor police. Yeah. I honestly don't like. That it's not just him. A lot of people have said those kind of things. It's like people don't understand. If people are like friends and they're just having a good time with each other, that's what people do. We're just doing it on camera. There's people that do that, right? This is what I even tell him if he's gonna watch right now. People are doing that right now. You just don't see them because you don't see them on camera. They're doing that right now. Everything that people are doing, you just don't see it because they're obviously not on camera. You know, I guarantee you, like friends he has does that. He just doesn't know, honestly. You know, but you know, I don't mind having the conversations. I'm always good to you.
Yeah, that's why I was talking to him. He was like, and I was like, and
because we're joking. Like, I know they're
joking.
Yeah, but you were jumping in too. You even said you're not gonna go to Popeyes at that time of day for a chicken sandwich.
I'm not going to Popeyes at midnight. I wouldn't go to Popeyes. No, I said I'll go to Popeyes 5 o'clock at night if it's still sun out. 5 o'clock and it's dark. Hell no.
What's up, Vagabond? Are you good? Just eating Wendy's? Yeah. Oh, I like Wendy's. I like
Wendy's too. Like someone asked me, because I'm telling you this. Where I live out on the west side, there's a KFC on bottom of the hill, Popeyes on the middle, and Wendy's at the bottom. Someone asked me, if you were hungry, and you had $20, which one would you go to at 9 o'clock at night? It's like whichever one I feel like I wouldn't get jumped at. None of them are dangerous. None of those 3 locations are dangerous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to the KFC because it's close. It's closest to where the niggas I don't fuck with are. I wouldn't go there. But KFC is the white people's chicken from where people I'm from call it.
Yeah.
It's not like dangerously spicy, but it's like seasoned well, and white people feel like, oh yeah, I could go, KFC and feel good. I was like, all right, cool. Because like every time there's a function, people get chicken. Always KFC, never Popeye.
Yeah.
Black functions, they get Popeyes. It's one of those things that I was like, I will go to Popeyes at 9 o'clock at night because I'm a big brawling nigga.
Yeah, what's crazy?
But my thing is that if I see a sketchy nigga out of both of them, I ain't going to neither.
No. Remember last night, Society played that one, that black guy's video where he does the skits based around like ghetto like restaurants. There was the part where you said that was relatable, where that guy the guy was playing a fucking skit. He was a shirtless black guy with dreads saying where your mama stay. You said in the chat, I know how that feels.
That's what I was telling the dude. Like, dude, you remember that time the motherfucker almost killed me because I got the last 10-piece spicy. Nigga was like, yo, now fuck that. Give me chicken, nigga. I'll be right back. I got in the car, told my aunt, get the fuck out. She was taking her time. I was like, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck you doing? I'm like, I'm about to get smoked by a nigga over chicken. I was like, and he forgot. I was like, yeah, nigga. I was like sometimes we fucked up, but it's like sometimes, nigga, you think that why you think sometimes I try to like curb the language around white people because I don't want to make it seem like this is an everyday occurrence. Because sometimes they be thinking this is not an everyday occurrence. But you got to realize because people see it on the media and they think it's not real. But this shit be happening. You know how many times I gotta deal with these motherfucking niggas?
Yeah, like
and it's not just. And when I say niggas, I don't always mean black people. I would say about 85% of the time black people.
There's some ones that are like loud, like the ones that are like loud and like you can clearly tell they are up to like no good. You can clearly tell these things. The problem is if people don't look like us, say that they're kind of considered racist. But hey, I'll be the person to say it.
When I mean niggas, I mean ignorant motherfuckers. It's usually black people, but not always. Sometimes it's Hispanics.
Dude, I saw two black dudes fighting over plastic forks. You know the plastic forks you get at like Dollar General?
Yeah.
This one black guy grabbed the last one. And then he found him outside. He was like, "You just grabbed the last bag of plastic forks."
No. I'm gonna tell you something. 5 years ago, not fighting over that. I seen this guy got arrested. Apparently, this nigga got killed over $5. A $5 debt. Smoked the nigga. 4:00 in the afternoon, daylight. Kids was coming home from school. Smoked the nigga daylight because this nigga didn't want to give him back $5. He owed him.
What?
Yeah. Niggas fighting over dollars is so I'm so used to it. I was like, no, I seen I told my friend earlier. You remember that dude that almost smoked you because he saw you was fucking his girl and turned out you was fucking his sister. He still wanted to smoke you. I was like, yeah, niggas getting mad because you fucking his sister. Nigga, why are you mad because I'm fucking your sister? It's not like I'm fucking your ex like your. This dude was going to fight me over messing around with his sister who's older than him. Nigga, she older than you. You going to fight me? How about you fight the nigga that's fucking your girl?
I'm just saying, though, you are kind of mean. Like, I think you deserve it.
I wasn't even rude to this nigga.
First of all, why would you tell it? Oh,
she did.
Of course she did, because that's how girls are. Because girls can't keep their mouth shut for shit.
She was single. We were both single. No. Fuck. No, not about it.
No, but like, dude, you gotta ask, like, why would she tell him that? Like, what business does
No. First of all, fuck all that. How about you have the same smoke for the nigga that's fucking your girl, not your ex, the girl you fucking with right now? You know the nigga that's fucking your girl. You got no smoke for him. And you know where he at too. But you get in my face because I'm messing around with your sister. Yo, nigga, she older than you. Nigga, and you don't pay rent, nigga. I know you. You got a job. Your mama let you stay at the house for free. Oh yeah, I think the only thing you gotta do is pay light bill. Light bill's like $70 a month, nigga. And you get mad at me because I'm messing around with your sister. But your girl be like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my friend Darren. She getting dick from this nigga. I walked in one time. She had his motherfucking dick in her mouth. Literally just walked in, just had a whole mouth full of cock. I don't even tell him.
Just recently, James's mom, because she gave me rights to work.
Yeah.
James's mom, she gave me a right to work this morning, and I was like half asleep. And she said, "Did you see that video? That girl getting fucking stomped the fuck out?" I was like, "Huh? What?" So there's this place in town called Lillian Park, where it's like where this park is at, where people have like the little leagues and shit. It's actually a pretty bad area. I don't traditionally walk to the area anymore.
I got about like some of those parks in one part of town. Every park on the west side, I don't even fuck with anymore.
Yeah, they're in like these like weird ghetto areas. A lot of houses and shit. A lot of black people always go up and down the hills. So there was these black people like fighting or some shit. This girl was getting like, I don't know, stomped or some shit. The mom came out, beat up all the friends, and then the mom got shot because she helped her daughter.
There was the same situation that happened. Same situation that happened here years ago.
Yeah.
Except mom got shot. She survived. daughter got beat out. She survived.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the cousin got killed, though.
God damn.
He got beat up there. He survived. Got out. I think he got killed 6 weeks later. And it wasn't even in Stanford. He got killed out of town.
Yeah, and all I'm trying to say to people is, are we not supposed to laugh about this shit, about how bad this has gotten? If you don't say anything about it, that's actually pretty fucking crazy. This is getting ridiculous, honestly.
Like, I only laugh if I know the people. I don't laugh. If I don't know the people, I tend not to laugh. Like, damn, that's fucked up. But if I'm like, man, that dumbass nigga got his ass whooped again, I mean, I laughed at somebody getting smoked, but and he said, damn, that's fucked up, Chad. But I was like, I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing. Because I told this nigga, do not go to that goddamn club. You know every time I told this nigga, do not go to the goddamn club, this nigga, he would not listen to me the one time. And was it? And he always listened to me, except for the one time. That was the one time that's the one thing he never listened to me about. Do not go to this club at this time. Whatever you do, when they got party night, do not go. That's where all the bitches be at, and that's where all the niggas that be chasing these bitches be at. And sometimes these clubs, these niggas don't even go for the bitches. They go for the other niggas I'm like,
dude, the bar that we went to in LA with the meetup, I won't say there was no black people there, but there was no problems, honestly. We were at a place in Vegas where there it was not like out of the way, but it was like an area where like you'd kind of have to know how to get to that place to be there, you know? Like I don't want to try to go to no bar and get fucking shot up because Shabuchi was out here choking on like Willie's dick. What the? Now I sound like you. God damn.
I'm saying, bro, they was trying to say, first of all, white people be shooting up the schools, and they don't even do that anymore because
white. Did you hear about that story today? This 33-year-old white guy dismembered his black girlfriend's body in Milwaukee. This just happened today. You see that?
I saw that shit. I was like, damn.
Bruh. Make sure I can't say the things on YouTube, we're not on Rumble, but when he goes to jail, make sure he gets the black people around him. Just saying.
No, that motherfucker needs to
in Minecraft, allegedly on YouTube.
No, he need to get the chair in real life.
Oh, I would say if he goes to jail, hopefully he's in the shower one night around 6 Tyrones and they'll make him his bitch. Just saying, in Minecraft.
Put that nigga in Gem Pop in real life. In Gem Pop. Yeah, dude, that's I ain't gonna say that shit. That thing, like when this motherfucker was like stabbing people downtown, I'm like, that's why I don't go downtown. What do you mean?
You don't go to Bridgeport? You said you went to Bridgeport a few times. That's where Mike is at.
Nigga, I don't go to Bridgeport.
He said Bridgeport was way more safer than where you live. He said where you live is hell.
Nah. First of all, Bridgeport got a city called Aransas, street called Aransas Ave, where niggas get smoked every other week. I'm good. Fuck that.
Mike. Remember when Mike told us that he had to carry a strap to go to a movie theater? He had to carry a gun for.
Nah. That was the same movie where that was the same theater where I went to see BVS. Yeah. That same theater. Yeah, you gotta bring a strap. You got to. Like, if you don't, you stupid. Like, I bring one. That's normal.
Do people think that you're in a normal city? If you have to do that, that's bad. That's really bad. I'm gonna bring a gun to my movie theater.
My city was worse at one point, but his city's overall worse because his city's bigger, has a higher. Mine has a higher crime rate because it's smaller than it. It's like 5 times smaller than his. He has more overall crimes. Like. The one thing I've always joked about for Bridgeport. Bridgeport has more crime, but Stanford has more murders because motherfuckers don't miss. That's why I don't like fucking around with people because these niggas in Stanford know how to shoot. Bridgeport niggas don't know how to shoot. That's why I've always said if someone doesn't drive by and nobody dies, them niggas from Bridgeport. And I joked about it. People didn't laugh, but the people that do laughed. I was like, yeah, because Bridgeport niggas don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to shoot. Stanford, and I realized most of these Stanford niggas not from Stanford. They from the fucking Bronx. Fuck it.
Oh, just want to point out before we start talking about league stuff, a new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine drops tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, talk about Deadpool. There's a nigga out here, 2016. I don't smoke a nigga like he was Deadpool. This motherfucker was wild. Like,
Oh, and I know I have to drop a few more trailer reactions. I did my Transformers 1 trailer reaction. That's gonna be dropping. I did the Nina Infinity video. I did do the. I haven't did the one with John Malin yet. That one I haven't did yet. I did the Joker 2 trailer reaction, and I did the Alien Romulus one, and I got to do the Deadpool one tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of content coming out. But now let's go over some league stuff. You know, because if you are listening to this episode on the podcasting platforms, which I know you guys do, and I want to say thank you to every single listener I have. You are a grandma and you are driving your kids to school in the morning, and it's black man talking about shooting someone in the morning. I do apologize. This guy's insane. This guy's
dude, I ain't talking about. Oh, dude, oh my god. Before we get to league, there was the worst one was there was a shooting at 6:30 in the morning. Kids just walking to school and there's a shootout. I'm like, y'all niggas do it too much. This is the one time everybody were snitches because we knew who the fuck was shooting. This is how you know you a reckless motherfucking shooter. There was one of the guy who was shooting, right? This nigga just gets in the line to get on the bus to go to school. I was like, how the fuck you get in a whole ass shootout and then just get on the school bus to go to school? Fuck that. I'm getting on the city bus. I'll be 15 minutes late to school, but hell no, I'm not. Fuck that. You know that scene in with Straight Outta Compton when the niggas got on the bus, those gangbangers at this guy's front. That happened to us. Similar. I was on the bus though, because sometimes I'll be on the bus. You know, because I was the dirty big kid. Sometimes I get on the city bus. I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather pay 75 cents and not get popped than be on this school bus swimming these niggas out here throwing out gang signs. One time they crossed the area, gang got on to stop the bus. Yo, what up, blood? What up, cuz? Oh, like, oh, fuck. What up, cuz? You all right? You saw them gang signs, nigga? You from Cloud9? You old crab ass nigga? I was like, oh, shit. Fuck. Shit.
Well, I do want to say, for anyone that does watch the streams, I do enjoy people that watch. Just keep in mind, we are all just joking. We're just having
It's
fun.
all jokes, but some of these stories is real. Not some. All these stories are real. Some are dropped out a little bit longer than, to keep the, real names out. But every situation has been real in real life. In my life, like I said, it is not a game. I'm telling this right now. Be careful out there in these streets. Some of these people do not give a fuck. They do not care about life. They will. I'm just stay there. Now let's get on the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
BLG versus Top Esports. You watched the series, didn't you?
Hell yeah, I watched this.
All right, so this is what I'll say because I know a lot of people were talking about the in studio finals and shit like that.
Yep.
This is how I feel about them. I honestly think there's more gravitas to the actual finals if it's in a big stadium. It just is, because it feels like when they're in studio, they feel just kind of like an everyday thing. Like there is weight and pressure to win. Obviously, it's a fucking final, but because Riot's mindset is like, well, if people aren't really going to be tuning in, then why would we have a big event? Well, because it's the sport. Like the NBA doesn't just go fucking play in a 2,000 person stadium because there might be less people in the seats in any stadium that they have, right? If you go and watch some of the games. So I understand why people didn't feel like the finals had any weight to them if they're in the studio. Now, from a business point of view, if you don't want to rent a venue and all that stuff, then it makes sense as to why you would save some money. But yeah, I could agree with that. The LCK and the LPL opening ceremonies for their finals were just insane. Those were great. And I felt this way too. The same way with Dom. I don't like the performances. I think they're all cringe and gay, if I'm being honest here. We were watching Worlds last night with me, him, and fucking James, and I was like, can we please just get to the games? Fuck. We stopped the performances. They're so cringe. I don't like them. I've always never liked them. Just get to the games. I get it. World's finals makes sense to have it, but that's why you guys saw me turn up my camera. I'm not watching this shit. I'm making food. Come back when they're in Champ Select. I'm trying to watch this shit. So, yeah, I could agree. The finals really have less gravitas to them if they're not in a big stadium. And if they're just, if you have a terrible music performance to go along with it, I think it's something that Riot needs to improve on. But, LCK, LPL finals will never really be ever having that. They've always chosen to go all out with their finals. And speaking of going all out with the finals, God, Ben has I think, won his second title. He won on RNG, and then he has now won on BLG. He's won MSI, actually. And BLG, people forget, BLG were a really strong team last year. And you know, I don't want to shit on Yagao, but he definitely made them also a threat. But just then, when you get rid of Yagao and you put in Knight, I mean, the team has went just up to another level. Knight is like Chovy of the LPL. Like, he just is, you know? Like, Knight is just insanely talented. He's also insanely good at the game, and he's definitely, like, raised BLG up in a way that they're even stronger than last year. They're actually even better, and I'll be honest here, with the finals, really just kind of felt like BLG could have just, like, 3-0'd them, honestly. The one game that they, I'll say through. I feel like the third game 3, when they were playing with their food, they were just playing with their food way too much in game 3. They actually could have just won that game, if I'm being honest here. They kept fucking around, and then by the time that they started taking it seriously, well, Top Esports' comp comes online, and then obviously that comp just outscaled theirs. But I mean, this series is mostly a stomp, for being honest here. Like, it was pretty one-sided. I mean, Cream, remember Cream, the guy that I Will Dominate like from last year OMG? Yeah. This was his first finals. You could tell he had, like, first finals-itis. He was really choking. He was missing point-blank Azir Soldier auto attacks. He was missing Azir shuffles constantly, mispositioning constantly. Not saying he's a bad player. You could tell that this is this guy's first finals. He was really, really just succumbing to the pressure of the crowd. I feel like the only person that really played well throughout the series was just 369 and Jackie Love.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they keep TN, man. I really don't get it. I don't really get the obsession people have with this guy. He won and peaked at one world championship, and he's made a few. He made like 3 finals. He made like 4 finals in his career. He's won one of them. I also don't know why TM's kept anymore. If they want to have a chance at winning titles anymore, TN's probably a player you might actually not want to keep anymore. He's just, I don't know, he's good he's okay to good on that kind of spectrum that I could probably put him in. But Mako, I feel like he was having an underwhelming finals. He didn't really get much done. Like, what do you think?
Okay. I knew Top Esports wasn't going to win. I thought it was going to be 3-2 or 3. I knew it was definitely going to be at least a 3-1. I knew BLG was going to sweep. Like, even with that game 3, Top Esports were never completely out of it, and let me know that that they were the second best team.
Yeah,
and I think with everything you said about TN, you're right, but
you've seen my world championships. He's like,
but you also did state that him winning is why they probably kept him. It's one of those things where sometimes that championship pedigree might keep you long enough, and that's the saying. Like, we know, like you said,
if he doesn't win on Top Esports this year, or they do well at Worlds or at MSI coming up, I don't see a world they keep this guy again.
Hell no.
Like, he's good relatively to like LPL standards. Obviously, I think he should be in the league, but if we're talking about winning championships anymore, this guy's choked in enough. This guy's massively underperformed in enough finals to a point where it's like, you know, why is he still here? Honestly, so that's just my thing. I think BLG has a really strong chance of winning MSI. People forget Night 1 MSI last year with JDG. They were also considered like the best team, you know? BLG also did very well at MSI last year, and now BLG took JDG's best player from them and basically upgraded their entire roster tenfold on an Elk, or even stronger than they were last year.
Yep.
Like, people factor in, Weibo played their best League of Legends always against BLG. For some reason, Weibo would be that random team to beat them. And it just so happened that BLG faced Weibo in the semifinals, actually. You know? Had BLG had been, you know, potentially on the other bracket, things might be a little bit different. But people forget, BLG was a really strong team last year. And if they win MSI this year, I'm not going to be surprised. I mean, like, this is the same team, essentially just a stronger mid laner, obviously. Yeah. So, do you think you think Top Esports will do well? I feel like they're the I don't know if because like, you factor in last year, right? BLG were strong, JDG were strong. Top Esports is not as strong as what BLG were last year with Yagao. I don't think so. I think
Nah.
they're mass. Like, you take BLG of last year with Yagao and you take Top Esports this year. I think there's a massive.
Oh no, BLG
gap
is
there.
stronger. BLG is stronger last year.
Remember, and people thought they were going to be the weakest team last year in MSI. They turned out to be just fucking cock on the table. Just
like because BLG's main weakness last year was Yagao, and they got that fixed. This year's Top Esports is everybody that's not 369 Jackie Love. Like everybody else is.
If Cream is having some nerve and stage issues in finals, which makes sense for his first one. Remember, guys, MSI's in China this year. How is he going to fare with playing? The crowd's going to be even bigger. The stadium's even bigger.
Oh, I'm there right now. I'm there right now. This is bigger for BLG or Top Esports to win than T1 winning last year. Like, because think about the big.
Remember, the pressure is always on LPL to win MSI. They've won every MSI since like 2018. Actually, outside of 2019. Outside of 2019, they've won most of the MSIs. They mostly win these as their like international trophies, you know? So this year it's in China, and there's actually more pressure on them to win this year than any of the years, actually.
Yep. Because I don't think that's for BLG. BLG has to win. I don't think people thought Top Esports was going to be the second best team. I think everyone thinking it was going to be BLG, JDG again. Mm-hmm. And that didn't happen. Top Esports shocked everybody, but I wasn't shocked. I think JDG like switching ADC or not ADC mid laners.
Yeah, they downgraded mid, and Flandre is just not as good as 369 if we're being honest here.
Oh, hell no, not even close.
Yeah, and Flandre's always been a relatively not like PO-sick. He's like that player that's like good when he's good, but when he's not good, he's just pretty you know? Like just because Flandre without form is just not that good, honestly. He's actually only really good at a few champions anyway. And JDG had a lot of issues because you know they were having some roster issues because they quite literally switched out Flandre guys for Sheer at a single point. You know? You could tell they were having some issues. It's just I don't know about Top Esports. I'm not saying they're a bad team. I think they can win best of fives against T1 and Gen G, but if they actually don't, I'm not going to be surprised either because they also have that thing about them where I'm kind of getting that feeling that they might actually just come and not play very well, honestly, you know?
Okay.
But it just happens with some LPL teams. Some LPL teams are like super hyped and they just completely crumble. Some are like underhyped and do very well. So I'm kind of keeping my expectations kind of leveled with Top. But yeah, BLG, I'll be honest, because people said, I know I Will Dominate had that tweet, which we're going to go over right now, where people had Double If, I guess, pointed out that Kidro was like, what's the words kids use now these days? Glazing? I don't fucking know what kids are saying nowadays.
First of all, Kidro was glazing the fuck out of Weibo last year, and mostly the shot.
The thing is, when does Kidro not fucking choke on people's dick? Isn't that not his thing? That's been his thing since he became a huge guy, honestly.
But now they call it glazing.
That's literally all he was famous last year for doing that, right? The T1, Fnatic, Weibo.
Yeah, that's why he got kicked out of T1 because he was rooting for Weibo. Think about it. The two teams he won. Think about this: the team you root for got to the final versus the team where they let you stay in their house.
It's like that meme of the white guy looking at the prettier girl and his ex is like looking at him like that. Oh, that's the perfect way. Yeah.
That's like you dating Lennon and then Carl's trying to give you some ass. Like, who do you go take, nigga?
I don't know, man. I can't choose. Don't make me do this. Why you gotta be starting trouble? Why are you so black?
You give me one, I'll take the other.
Good Lord.
Kidro got neither because he got kicked out. He was homeless. And then, Shocks Shocks was like, oh, pity Kidro, you can stay with me. Or at the, studio.
Okay. Oh, God. Yeah. Good Lord. So my thing with Kidro is people understand when you're that big and everyone loves you, you don't really have your own opinion. You basically have to say the opinions that the audience has back to them. That's the opinions you get to have.
Yep.
Is it a good or bad thing? That's up for someone. That's for you guys to debate to yourself morally or how you see yourself in those conversations. He is filthy rich at this point. If he ever says he's not filthy rich, he's lying to you. But the thing here is most people just want to hear like, oh my God, Faker's the best player. T1 is so good. Like he basically just has to keep repeating that kind of thing back to people because that's what they want to hear. That's literally all it is.
Exactly.
Now, the people that don't do that and try to have more of like an analytical point, a more of a discussion point, those people are seen as haters. Have you guys noticed that? People like Dom, Thorin, Monty, or Degon, when they have their shows, just discussing that Faker could be weaker than Chovy, people are like, you're a T1 hater. What, we're supposed to have a discussion about these things? It happens in traditional sports where people go, oh, well, you don't think LeBron James is the best player? You think Michael Jordan was better? Are you fucking racist? It's like, bro, can we not just have a discussion?
First of all, they're both black. They're both black. How the fuck you be like, are you racist? LeBron? I was like, they're both black, nigga.
I took never go to NBA Reddits. I did, and I'm never going.
That's like now when people try to say, oh, well, Luka's gonna be greater than LeBron. I was like, oh god, that's even worse.
Like that's the thing. It's like it's like when someone says, all right, let's have an NFL discussion. Tom Brady is the best player in NFL history, and no further discussion is allowed. Well, would that be fun to you guys? Obviously not. That would be why would you even have a conversation then? If someone just goes, he's the best, no debate, that's it. Well, you sound like a fucking prick. Like, I'm not talking to that person. That person sounds insane. That's the thing that's what I've noticed is basically unless you are completely sucking someone off, people just call you a hater. And that's actually just bad on the community at that point.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, he's getting his money. I'm proud of him. I've seen this guy ever since he was a mid laner for H2K back in the day, where they kicked his ass. They made him roll so because he was so trash. I remember this. I've seen this guy's whole career. No, Kadro. I've seen this guy's whole career at this point. Yeah, it's just, it's the thing that you have to do in the esports industry when it comes to having a big fan base. You literally have to just tell the audience what they want to hear back to them in their opinion. That's it. So if you are a fan of, if you're watching Fnatic, he has to say Fnatic's a good team. He has to say Humanoid's the best Western mid laner. I don't know how he stomachs that, but
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot he's
a streamer for Fnatic, and good lord. So, how do you feel about stuff like that? Honestly,
yeah, I don't.
Because he can't even really have a discussion about this stuff. It has to be basically this way or nothing else matters.
Yep. Exactly. It's like, holy shit, this is cringe. Because it is cringe.
Remember how he was talking about that the lane swap stuff with Monty, but he didn't bring up the crucial piece of evidence to reason why Monty would be right over Doublelift. Guys, I've seen Doublelift. I know he knows what a lane swap is. I've seen his career when he did it in front of my eyes. He doesn't talk about the fact that in 2015 World Championship, week 2, day 1, him and Afro were in the bot lane. They were playing like I forgot which. I think like Varus or some shit.
Yeah.
They did a lane swap, but they sent Darshan to. They did a lane swap at some point. Doublelift lost to Darius Tom Kench as a bot lane in a lane swap. You know how pathetic that is for those champions back then. Like I know he knows what a lane swap is. He was just lying. He's just a fucking idiot. It's crazy. I met Double before, and I thought he was this stupid. Well, I kind of did, but he's just retarded.
I was about to say
he's just stupid. Like he is just an idiot. It's so weird how he's this stupid yet he was a really good League of Legends player. But then again, people need to factor this in. Just because you're good at elite, just because you're good at a profession or whatever, doesn't make you an actual decent person.
Yeah,
LeBron James with the whole China thing, actually, So
that's everybody with the China thing.
And with John Cena, like the pure factor, just because you like someone through a profession or whatever you like them through doesn't mean they're an actual decent person. Like Double does some pretty weird shit. Keep in mind that TSM roster he was going to be a part of. Reginald said, "I don't want you on the team," and he went on stream and said, "TSM's a terrible place. Reginald's this." Weren't you going to play on the team? What the heck? Hello? What? What a 180. I bet you Lena blew him one night. She did some Gok 3000 on him, made him roll his eyes back. Cum was flying everywhere. And she was like, can you talk about how bad Reginald is, please? He was like, sure. Yeah.
While she was moaning like Kitty on that damn stream that one time. Holy shit.
Like people remember on the stream he was talking about with Monty and Overwatch. He said, I thought this guy was still in Overwatch." Monty announced he was going to be part of Cloud9 the same year that Doublelift was still in the LCS. Doublelift is lying, people. He knows that Monty's not been in Overwatch. He's lying. Monty used to be his head coach on CLG back in the day. They don't like each other for clear reasons, but he's lying. I'm just saying, I don't know why. He just turned into this way. I have no clue. He's just trying to stay relevant. Remember the whole Dodo thing he tried doing?
Yeah.
Remember that one? He said, well, he tried to make it seem like they need him to win a title, and in the same split he said that they won. What a fucking retard. Oh, shit. But to be fair, they had not won without him until this point, actually. That's just karma, isn't it? That's just karma, actually.
That's not karma. It's a coincidence. It ain't karma. No. Karma would have been if he played this year and then they beat him in the finals. Right, yeah. That would have been karma. This is one of those, like, ugh. And
so Doublelift said, "Oh, not dominant. Who the fuck is dominant? Holy crap! I will dominate." He had this tweet where he said, "So Doublelift claims that K-Drill is farming social credit for putting BLG ahead of Gen.G/T1 in his MSI tier list. Sorry that some people form their own opinion after actually watching the games and don't just skip through finals before making an opinion on the games, on the teams, I guess." Oh, that's what he got mad about? Putting BLG ahead of Gen.G and T1? How would he have to be? Okay, that can't be real. There's no way someone's claiming someone's doing that because they had BLG ahead of Gen.G and T1. If you've been watching the LPL, BLG's really strong. There's a good chance they would win.
But that would be no, but this would hold merit, but except why did he put okay, the whole thing with Double that would hold weight if he put both teams up there. He said Top Esports was trash. He said, because I watched that whole video 3 times. I was like, and Keijo, and this is one of the parts I got.
Because we know Keijo watches all the regions. We know he does. I don't know if Doublelift does.
This ain't no social credit shit because there's 2 Chinese teams. He bigs up BLG, says they're the best team. And then says Top Esports will lose to fucking G2.
That's possible. I can see it. Given how unstable Top Esports is, I can see them losing to G2.
And then you got Double claiming that Keijo is farming social credit for put.
Talk about Doublelift talking about farming social credit when he's going out and shitting on Monty and Thorin. And I will dominate. Is that not farming social credit with people who don't like them? By that logic, is that not doing that, actually? Because he did that on stream.
Yeah.
He called I will dominate a what did the dominate say he called him? He called him a leech for co-streaming. Yeah, that's what Doublelift does. What world does that guy live in? I guess if you become filthy rich and a hot Asian girl blows you every night and gives you some ass, you just become retarded, apparently, at a single point.
It would make sense if it was both teams, but not just BLG. There's 2 Chinese teams this year.
Yeah. If he has, I have to go through the video because it popped up in my feed a little today when I was at work. Putting BLG ahead of Gen.G and T1 is not would be a hot take by any stretch of imagination if people have watched the games. Like
he actually had Gen.G up there, but then he realized, Gen.G and T1 are neck and neck. Except T1 decided to troll Game 5 at their draft.
That's true.
And then BLG is steps above the second place team in the LPL, even though he said JDG was slightly better than Top Esports. Top Esports overall had a better overall player. I think a player of the team.
Yeah.
I forgot which one it was.
Let's go through some of these comments. These have to be mentally ill. You put JDG ahead of T1 and Gen.G last year. Yeah, a lot of people did. What? People thought... How could this be a controversial take? You put a team you thought was better than the other 2 over them. A lot of people thought JDG were going to win MSI last year. You're an LPL shill who gets mad when LCK supremacy starts to appear. It's not his fault your region only has 3 world titles. What a flex that is. Hey, your region only has 3 world titles. That is just stupid. That is, I'm not doing that mentally ill shit. Holy God, that's Double F reacts to Cajo's MSI tier list. Let's see him do this then. This is 3 minutes. Oh God, please, for the love of God, save me. I have to hear this guy speak. Good Lord. All right, let's see this social credit that Cajo's doing. Remember, keep in mind, I'm watching this from his perspective. I'll go through Cajo's video in a little bit.
Go see Cajo's tier list.
Did you see this
Cajal MSI tier list.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah, I saw both videos.
Okay, I'm just looking at it from his tier list perspective, everyone. Okay, BLG is what? That's S plus tier?
Yeah, S plus. He said different. S plus is like top tier, as he originally had BLG and Genji, but then said that T1 is. He said Genji and T1 are like literally a coin toss. It's just does T1 actually not want to throw, and Zayu's not going for the shy arc again.
Is he now? Did he say that pairing them versus each other, or just
overall and paired against each other? He says BLG could probably beat everybody here because he also meant to add CB Low, but the way he did this, CB Low weren't announced yet. But it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. CB Low ain't winning shit.
Yeah, it's like. Okay. But I swear to God, CB Low beats one of these LCS, LEC teams. Whoever the top laner needs to get replaced immediately. Fuck all that. Like,
I'm just saying, if you lose to Robo, you should be homeless, honestly.
No, if you lose to Robo should have your job.
No, he's capping. He's capping. BLG didn't show anything better than them. Maybe they did in the regular season, but in the finals that I just watched, it didn't show anything better than Genji and T1.
The fuck?
We what?
Yo, Double, open up your fucking eyes, man.
He can't. He's an egg roll.
Oh, shit. Where is he from? Like, I know he's American.
He's born in America. I'm just fucking because he's Asian. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did he just say that
Is he Korean?
Okay, I love Genji, guys, but the only thing special that Genji showed in their series against T1 that was different from what we've already seen them do is they just pulled out Kha'Zix in Game 3. That's it.
Yep.
They played relatively the way everyone thought they would. T1 didn't show anything. T1 just played the exact same. All T1 shows was that Keria should not play Poppy support just ever again. That's all I saw. All these teams are playing relatively the same for both the LCK representatives. BLG showed that even when top esports had leads, they were fighting back consistently. Remember, the difference between BLG, between the LCK teams, BLG are going to constantly never give up anything. Like they will, right? But they were fighting in scenarios that obviously you shouldn't be fighting in, and they were still finding ways out. Not to be fair, that's probably because they have Knight, but oh Lord, what is this guy so fucking dumb now? What happened to this man? Jesus fucking Christ.
In a completely different tier than Genji and T1. He might have been paid by CCP.
Double F, you're just sucking off T1 fans. He just doesn't want to say Faker's not that good compared to Knight and Chovy. That's why he's doing this. The same thing Cadril does. Cadril does the same thing. He doesn't want to say T1's weaker than these two because that would make people that like T1 upset. They have like the largest fan base. Just say that. Or just anyway formulate that.
Wait, is he farming social credit? What the? Dude, check him social.
This guy said BLG dick riding. This is the same team last year that beat them both 3-1. They curb stomped them. This is with Yagao. They did that last year with Yagao and have a better player this time around. I don't know how they're going to... I mean, they probably are going to be fighting them back better this time, but do you see what I'm bringing up here? Last year, they were weaker than them. People had them ranked over BLG, and they lost embarrassingly to them. The fact Toppy went on stage and started dancing. Remember that? Toppy went on stage and just started fucking doing some TikTok dance. He was like, oh yeah, we beat Ramen. Oh yeah. Bruh. How is that dick riding? This is how you can tell these fans don't watch LPL. This is how you can tell. How would it be dick riding? This is the same team. They have one better player this time around. The same shit. Remember that guy Ben? Yeah, he's still pretty fucking good, actually. Now, if BLG come in MSI and completely choke, I will definitely be shitting on them, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I shitted on them when they lost to Weibo, because I thought they were just a much stronger team than Weibo. I thought Weibo was ass, actually.
I thought it was too, but someone told me that it could happen. I didn't think it was, but I think because one of those things where sometimes you're like you got that weird
you're
feeling
so sure
that
of something, and but the bad thing might happen. Yeah.
dude, I call it nigga sense because every time I go somewhere, I'm like, I know I shouldn't be going here, but I'm gonna get in, get out, and then every time I've used my senses and I survived because I was like, I'm not staying here for more than 10 minutes. Get my food, get out, and then a drive-by happens 15 minutes later. I'm like, whew. Yeah, I felt that last year with Weibo. I said whoever won.
You were more hating on LNG than Weibo, which is crazy.
Yeah. No, I thought Weibo was decent. I didn't think they was going to get to finals. I had no faith in LG. I thought they were fraud. I thought they were like the amount of dick riding and dick sucking LG had. The fans was like,
I just didn't understand the hype when it came to Zika. I was like, this guy is so overrated.
I didn't understand the hype to the whole team in general. I thought this team player was like, this team got lucky and got out of hot streak. Hot streaks tend to end. Like, the fuck? And like when everybody said, Energy was going to the finals, I was like, nigga, Energy about to get beat by Weibo, and they got not beat, smoked. Weibo.
Credit.
Yeah.
This is how are they in a completely different tier than Gen.G and T1?
You Double F, you are fucking so stupid. They are an S plus, they are an S. It's not that much of a difference there. And if we're being honest here, last year, people factor in T1 did beat BLG at Worlds, actually. That was their closest best they played against any of the LPL teams because they had the best playstyle against T1. But if people think everything, T1 have always did well internationally. Even in the one World Championship where they didn't look as good because Figure kind of carried them for the most part, they still got to the finals. If people are so sure T1 can do well, you got nothing to worry about then. And T1 have only did bad at technically last year's MSI. I think that's it. Yeah, last year's MSI would be the only one they really did bad in. But even with that, they still played the best against JDG. They beat JDG later on, actually. T1 beat... What's crazy is people said Gen.G beat T1. T1 beat Gen.G last year. And it's the reason why Gen.G had to go to the lower bracket. People forget that, right? T1 played relatively fine. Really good last year. They had the best series last year. I don't get why LCK fans get so mad. It's like, you guys got all the worlds. You guys got the MSIs too. If you think T1 are going to do well for the LCK, there's nothing in your mind that should go like, I think T1 should just fucking fail at this world, this MSI. It's like, why would they? Like, last year, they quite literally almost defeated JDG. The only reason why they didn't beat JDG is because their coach put Faker on Nautilus mid. Remember, that was the thing. He put him on Nautilus mid. Okay?
Because of fucking G2 was Caps mid. You remember that shit? And I was like, oh, this is...
And they lost to BLG because we pointed out many times. So BLG just have a counter. They can max them in the early game, which is what T1's strong at. So them losing to BLG wasn't that surprising. But to say that it's... I don't know. God, fucking fans are so cringe. God, I hate sports sometimes. Oh, fans are so stupid. Fuck, they just retcon history for no reason whatsoever because they're stupid. This just happened last year. If I was talking about an MSI that happened like 5 years ago, I'd understand you. You would probably understand the context. This happened last year. Just last year. Okay? Not too long ago. I was, Lennon was eating my ass when I was watching MSI too, but yikes.
Maybe if I was like on some sort of hard drugs, I could see putting them in the same tier as Gen.G. I could not see.
This is satire. This is satire. This can't be real. This ain't real.
Is this an SNL skit? That's one of those funny SNL skits?
This is what we call it on Twitter farming engagement. That's what we call that.
Yeah, he's farming something.
This has to be farming engagement. There's like the only reason why people get so hotly contested over these teams is because they are all relatively close. They're all relatively close in strength, but if you think this team has a slight edge over them, it's like let's keep it. Gen.G and T1 are clapping all these teams down here. Being honest here, that's not close, right? And if BLG is just slightly better, all hell breaks loose. It's like, are fans like really that upset over like a slight? So if T1 and Gen.G are like 9s, let's use that as 9.
Yeah.
But BLG is like a 9.5. That's the reason why you get. I hate fans. Fans are fucking retarded. BLG went 30-5 in the regular season. The only team that brought them to 5 games, I think, was who brought them to 5 games? It was in the playoffs in the upper bracket final. Fuck, was it Nip? Someone brought them to 5 games.
I think it was
I forgot.
I think it was Digits.
Like every other series I saw was a complete stop from their point of view.
15-1, the only team that beat them was IG. That was it.
Let me go look at it right now. I don't want to say anything wrong for you guys. Give me 1 sec. I'll look at it right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now as well. I want to say it's Nip. It was Nip.
I think it was Nip or JDG brought him to 5 games.
No, I don't think it was JDG.
Was it JDG? JDG went to 5 games against Nip. I remember that.
Okay, no. They beat Nip. They beat Nip 3-1. No, it was Top Esports.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
In the upper bracket,
I remember.
In the upper bracket finals.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so they only went 2 games. So they had only one 5-game series, and that was against Top Esports. They faced Nip 3-1. Nip had rookie, and they were at one point in first place because of standings, because they faced a lot more weaker teams for that shorter time period, which allowed them to get a record over BLG. But later on, when they faced some opposition, BLG took over. You guys know. So BLG won a combined total of what, 3, 6, 9. They won 9 games. They went 9-4. They went 9-4. To be fair, 2 of these were against the same team, but they went 9-4 in the playoffs overall.
Yep.
Q Factor guys, T1 lost to Humble Life too. People just forgot that. Like, I'm just saying. So if you were to compare them, is Nip stronger than Humble Life, or are they about the same? Because then that's how you get your comparison, right? Because BLG and T1 haven't played yet.
I'll say Humble Life is stronger than Nip. I'll say Humble Life is stronger than JDG from how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I would go BLG, Gen.G, T1, JDG. Top Esports, JDG right on the same level. No, I'll probably have JDG below, because the first time Top Esports faced JDG, it was 3-0 clean sweep. JDG got swept off the ground. And then JDG barely beat Ninjas, and Ninjas took them to 5.
Ninja. Yeah.
And if Ninjas had any more people than fucking Photic and Rookie, they might have beaten JDG. Like, it was literally Michael and Pippin and a bunch of role players versus JDG. And then BLG beat Top Esports 3-2. Top Esports beat the hell out of JDG 3-1, could have been a 3-0. And then BLG beat the hell out of Top Esports, could have been a 3-0. Like, the only 2 competitive series came in the upper bracket finals and the lower bracket finals, or semifinals. Like, JD was 3-2 against Ninjas, and then BLG was 3-2 against Top. Everything after that, the lower bracket finals, easy. Grand finals, easy. Like, shit. Some of the better games was in the beginning of the playoffs, where it was like Waymo versus Victus, Ninja versus T-Wee, Waymo versus LG, the Ninja versus FPX was a complete stop. JD, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Their early playoff series, those were some entertaining games. Shit. Waymo beating LG, and I told people LG were frauds last year. They're frauds this year, nigga. Don't at me.
I think Way should go to Top Esports. That might make him a little bit stronger.
Oh, hell yeah.
Way and Scout do not work. They don't work. Sorry. Way and Scout do not work.
I told you last year. You knew last year. I told James last year. James was like, Waymo's over. I was like, James.
I knew Weibo was a fraud. Weibo was a fraud the entire year. This happens with Worlds formats, because Worlds formats can do that to a team. They can make a team look better depending on the randomization.
The way you said about Weibo was the same thing I said about LG. To me, it was all the fans that came out of nowhere for LG. I was like, where the fuck are these fans coming from? Because most of the Weibo fans were just the Shy fans. Let's keep it a bit. Who the fuck is a Weibo gaming fan? It's the Shy.
I cannot see them being an entire tier above Gen G and T1.
Double if it's S plus.
It's S plus is. And this is how you know he don't watch. He ain't blabber. He ain't watching no goddamn LPL. This motherfucker out here getting his balls sucked by a leader.
This man literally stopped streaming with Sneaky and Meteos because they would just question his knowledge on things. That's it.
But also sometimes they were playing. They're a little too political on how they act. It was like, okay, who are you trying to like you're trying to. They were asked the right questions, but sometimes it felt like they didn't want to give their full answer. You know what I'm saying?
And then Double If went to go stream with fucking Speaker and Revenge, perma ass player. Never had a good split ever in his life. Only had like 2 carry games in his whole career.
He is very smart. He's one of those guys that he would be a good analyst, but he wouldn't be a good player. You know someone knows the game? Like, you know how they say sometimes the bad players are good coaches because they understand the game. They're just not good at playing it.
Revenge and Speaker out here trying to save their careers from streaming with Double If. Speaker will probably get a team eventually. But
Speaker definitely no.
Revenge, he retired and good. No one want that motherfucker. IMT got rid of Revenge, and that should tell you something.
Yeah,
it's LPL buff at MSI. He gave reasoning on stream. It's hard to judge based off of a picture. Okay. I think like maybe the X factor is just like how well they'll play versus the field, right? How well will you play versus every single team? And that's exactly why I think, I guess I'm just not that convinced on G2's supremacy over Fnatic. I feel like the strengths of G2 don't seem to work as well.
I think G2 should be in B tier. I think them in A tier is kind of a little too high.
T1?
No, sorry, not T1. G2. I think G2 should be in B tier. I think the only slowly A tier team should be Top Esports. And that's also kind of a question mark there too, because they have games where they're looking off too.
That's what you said about T1. T1 should be A, but he looked at how Gen G played in the finals. He was like,
yeah, T1 were 2-1 ahead of Gen G in that series too. It wasn't like,
yeah, that's why he was like, who I put Gen G above T1 because they won the finals, but that's only because they won.
Who's doubting Faker at an international event? People are still doubting Faker at international events when he just quite literally won Worlds last year, and he looked really good doing it. Everyone, I know I was watching the show. T1, if at this point Faker hasn't proven to anybody that he can win international events and not fucking perform well there, you're on crack. You're like legitimately on crack.
Against like the field. He assumes Gen G is going to choke and T1 Zeus is going to ints. He's saying BLG is the best team in the world the entire regular season. He just loves BLG. All right. Bin looked all right. I think there's not.
Bin looked all Bin looked all right. Okay, dude. Like, yeah, I agree with Zeus. The Zeus has a thing where he could do that. But how many times are you gonna bank on that? He does that like once out of like how many games he does that? Like when he's not doing that, which is like only like 1 out of like how many games he crushes people. Exactly. Remember that 1v3 dive that Weibo did to him, and he actually just put his dick in your ass.
Exactly.
He was beat Ben last year. He's something that just happened. Actually,
a point of BLG that looks that bad. I just think I don't know, man. Knight didn't look that good.
Knight didn't look good in the Aurelion Sol game, but Aurelion Sol is a scaling pick where obviously I don't think he should be on Aurelion Sol. I thought that was probably his worst game, but in that game 3, BLG weren't. That wasn't really like Top Esports being well. BLG were quite literally playing with their food in that game. They were just fucking around way too hard. Remember the next game when Knight wasn't on Aurelion Sol, he actually just steamrolled him? That's the point. That's how you know it's an ego thing. He knows that I could pick a pick that I'm so much worse on, but I'll still have a chance to be relevant in the game. Which happened. Knight's not a Aurelion Sol player like Chovy and APA, ass pussy ass. But he picked a champion he's not that good at, just to show Cream, I'm not good as a champion, but I can still beat your ass in this.
Knight didn't look that good. This is really all the teams at MSI. I mean, it's only
like if someone had T1 over Genji because of like the international choking thing, that's understandable. Because now you're being skeptical of like, until they actually do it, then I'll give them that credit. That would make sense actually, because that'd be a logical thing with your eyes you could use.
It's 12 teams, guys. It's a lot of teams for MSI.
I'm done. Nope. Nope. I'm good. I'm not trying to hear AIDS again. Would you? That's too many teams. World is 24.
Yep.
I'm done. Why did you guys make me watch that? That is just AIDS. Double If Don't Be Insufferable challenge failed for the 8th time this year. Bro said Knight's not that good. Yeah, if people said Knight had a problem playing internationally, I would agree with that. He's had some games where he's not looked that good internationally. That is totally understandable. Like at MSI last year, he looked pretty good, but overall, him and Chovy have had these issues where sometimes at international events they don't look like they do domestically. But that's the thing, is I'm still not going to have that team ranked. But we're still like debating like the intricacies and like semantics of it. It's like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. It's just stupid, Well, what do you want to say about Double Up being retarded?
I'm not surprised. It's sad, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Why doesn't Double put his money where his mouth is? Why don't you do a tier list, motherfucker? And you explain to me why you should think certain teams are ranked where they're at. I bet you that's just not happening. That's never happening.
Yep.
Did he actually do a tier list? Actually,
I don't think he has. I haven't done.
Let's see. What's that channel? More Double Lift.
Yeah.
I don't think he did a tier list. Yeah, he's just talking about news from the community at this point. He's just a React Andy now.
Yep.
Oh, I think he did do one. Yeah, he did one. He did one a day ago.
Okay. Let's go check it out.
I'm just gonna fast forward. I'm not trying to hear this guy's reasonings. I'm not trying to get AIDS. I'm good. What? Just tell me your who's your teams? Here we go.
Yeah, that he just flipped it. Okay.
He went through all of that just so he can have a flipped tier list. Just so he can pander to all those T1 fans out there.
He has G2 above Top Esports. And Fnatic over Top Esports.
Why is Fnatic an 8? I'm done. I'm not doing it. Nope. I'm not doing this. Fnatic A tier. What argument did you use to put Fnatic in A tier? Fnatic are about literally the same tier as Team Liquid and FlyQuest.
I might argue that FlyQuest and Fnatic should be a tier below Team Liquid AG2.
Probably.
I think I would put, if you're going, S tier should be, I would put BLG Genji as T1A with Top Esports. That's like 50-50.
Oh, she said it the best. Double If ranks LPL and LCK teams based on watching one series from each region. Yes, I agree. You get a like from me. Never make another tier list again, King. Double If is so lost. Bro actually said 369 and Jackie Love are bad players, and LPL is just as good as LEC. That's why I didn't watch this video. I knew I was about to hear some AIDS. Knows G2, the actual G2 account said, knows he's clueless when he said Fnatic is as good as us.
Exactly.
No way Fnatic is... He has Fnatic over Top Esports. That's so troll.
Yep.
Top Esports and Fnatic aren't equal. Bro thinks this is 2020 when they got reverse swept by Top Esports. This is not 2020, dude. Nope. If I watch that, I will cuss at the screen. That is so trash. We went through all of that. Him trying to drama farm just so he can have a flipped tier list, just so he can have a tier list that's worse than K-Drill's by putting Fnatic in the same tier list as Top Esports and Fnatic in A tier. Keep in mind, G2 beat the shit out of Fnatic most of the time. We're done. We're done here. Would you like me to send you Carla so she can lick your bumhole?
That'd be nice.
All right. You want to go over the I Will Dominate video?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to go. It's 18 minutes long. We're going to be skimming through a little bit of it. I Will Dominate's back from Europe or whatever. I got back from visiting Kitty. We had like a whole lot of sex, actually. You know. Wait, you don't believe me?
No.
Okay. I sucked on her titties for a little bit, you know?
Okay.
All right. LEC and LCS insane roster changes.
To our lair in Austin, Texas, everyone always says the lighting in here is terrible. The dark.
Of course, he's a Seahawks fan. I wonder what he thinks about his fucking quarterback choking that one year, including just throwing a Super Bowl. I wonder what he thinks about that shit.
Dark room that we have here, and I wanted to talk about some of the roster moves that we've actually got coming forward. So we have roster moves from LEC, we have rumors from LPL, and we also have a confirmed move from the LCS. So I want to talk about all these moves in detail, discuss some of the names that have been thrown out for some of the empty spaces on these rosters, and really just give some context to why I think these moves are happening and if I think the moves are going to be successful or not. But before we get into the meat of the video, we've got a word from our sponsor for today's video, which is Signal RGB. Signal RGB is giving away this epic gaming PC that looks like the...
I don't care. If I can't watch Kitty butt naked sucking a dick, I don't give a fuck.
Start off with just addressing the first part of this, which is, I haven't even looked at this thread yet, but the bot lane is staying the same for K-Corp, which is going to blow a lot.
What?
All right. This is the vacuum. And this is me fucking it. You ever seen a black man fucking vacuum?
Nah.
Oh, the only way I can process what I just heard there. That can't be true. That's trolling. There is no way that's real. Absolutely no way on this goddamn planet that's real. That has to be a joke. That has to be a joke, right? They have went a combined total of 4-14 in the past two splits. And they actually looked worse this split than the last one. Don't you love that your favorite support Targamas gets to play again?
Oh, fuck.
A lot of people's minds. I know the community was up in arms about Targamas being on the team even from winter to spring because he had a lot of communication issues. K-Corp had the videos of voice comms that...
The man quite literally said, Akali has no flash. She had TP and Ignite. Or she had a combination of that. She had no flash at all. Akali doesn't need flash. She has a fucking shroud and her E.
Like I said, technically he was not wrong. He didn't have flash.
I hate you. I actually just
Was he wrong? No. Was he stupid?
You just tell
yes.
that Targamas was not talking. He wasn't speaking in a way that people feel like a support should. Generally, the people that talk the most on a team are jungle and support, especially in the early game. And it really just didn't feel like Targamas ever stepped up into that role and was calling for things, which people were upset about. But Targamas is staying on the roster. And the reason for this is because Targamas and Kalist liked playing together. They played together last year in the LFL. And they want to keep Targamas on the team until Kalist is able to move up. Kalist is too young right now for the LEC.
That's even worse. That means Targamas is going to stay on the roster, not just now, next year as well. And they're not just going to want to throw Kalist and Targamas together for just winter. If they don't value winter that much or going to MSI. I mean, Targamas is at worst staying in the LEC another whole year.
LEC, currently in LFL, so we will be moving up next year. This is pretty much as decided as a move has ever been when it comes to a player hitting the...
Well, Bo had the same thing too. Vitality bought Haru, but it was basically just a Bo waiting room when that happened. So why should Upset perform well for this team? I mean, you should always do that. You should just go up there and fucking throw. But
yeah,
if you know you were going to get replaced by a guy like that, or why would you want to stay and play on this team? Even if Upset has some of the best ADC performances, because, you know, Warren said he hadn't proven himself, and I'm like, that's trolling. That's completely trolling. Even if Upset performs well, it won't matter. He ain't staying.
That's true.
Like, even if he were to be putting out an actual MVP level performance, it doesn't matter. He's not even staying.
the proper age to actually play in the LEC and actually getting the spot. The last time I remember something like
They said the rumors of this roster might be the 100 Thieves top side. Someday, closer, Abadage, upset, Targamas. That would be... Abadage, yes. Someday, is better than Cableshard? Or they said Chasey might join. Okay, those are upgrades over Cableshard. I could agree with that. The problem here is, I don't know if that roster synergizes very well, honestly. That sound good to you as a roster? Someday closer, Abadage, Upset, and Targamas? Targamas? Mr.
And
Ham?
you take out the last two, and you shit, fuck it. I like the top side is good, but the bottom, like, who would I swap out though?
Like, Upset could barely play with Targamas these last two splits, and we're going to have this guy play with this guy again. Like, how was that not Elo Hell playing with Targamas as your support?
this was all the way back when Reckless was too young to play in the LEC for Fnatic, and he had to sit out a full year. And then as soon as he turned, I believe it was 17 in 2014, boom, he was immediately on that Fnatic roster. He played, I think, in Copenhagen Wolves in like the academy tournament system that they had over in Europe in 2013, and Puju and Yellowstar were the people that were replacing him. But this is the first time since then that I remember a spot really just being reserved for a talent. And most people just think Kalista is the real deal. I was actually watching him play Xayah earlier in EU Masters today. Looks like a beast, man. This guy is actually so good. He's part of the reason why I thought Supa was going to get clapped so hard, because normally academy level is significantly lower, I would say, or at least lower than LEC level. And when they played in EU Masters, Supa got absolutely clapped by Kalist. And now Kalist is still clapping people in EU Masters. He's won.
Supa said he was the best ADC. Yeah, that don't know why he said that.
Another EU Master, or another LFL title, and he is almost certainly moving up to K Corp, meaning that Targamas will be staying so they can play together when that happens. So let's go into what Wooloo has here. Closer is locked and doing trials with them for the replacements, but they are still waiting for him to get his visa. So Closer is going to be the jungler for K Corp. Bo is out. There was some rumors of him potentially going to SK. Doesn't seem like it's happening right here. Wooloo has SK, no changes.
How would SK have no changes? Bruh. Changes in the bot lane are plausible. Yeah, get rid of Dawes. How the fuck would they be keeping Dawes after he threw their whole season away with that Camille support shit?
In mid jungle, despite the rumors, changes in the bot lane are plausible. I thought Bo would actually fit really well in SK. If you think about who Niski is and what Niski has turned junglers into over the course of his career, it just seemed like something that would make sense. Niski Bo is what people have been asking for over a year now, because Niski is just the jungle whisperer. He is somebody who plays around strong carry junglers extremely well, and that is exactly who Bo is. Now, I think that closer to Bo is a lateral move. I think they're both similar in how they play. They're both insane mechanical players. They aren't the best when it comes to mid to late game. Their team fighting is not stellar, I would say. When I think about team fighting in the LEC, I think about team fighting junglers. I think about players like Oyoya. I think he's extremely good at team fighting. I think Yike, if he's playing carry junglers, he's really...
Yeah, I mean, closer for Bo is a lateral move. I don't know how much better that actually makes the team, but I guess because Bo could communicate in English, they just weren't listening to him. So I don't know how that's going to be better with this guy.
Really good at team fighting as well. But Closer and Bo are more like early game centric carry junglers who like to play in ways to get themselves and their team ahead early, and they kind of fall off throughout the game. That being said, I do think that Closer will perform better, mainly because he's going to be playing with, in my opinion, better players. So mid and top are most likely to get replaced. AD carry, very, very unlikely. Many different profiles are being looked into for said roles. Korean player for top. Wooloo doesn't want to leak the names because he thinks it would harm the org. I'll just go off what people have been saying on Twitter. I've been seeing Twitter threads, and this is information that I think is just out there. People have been discussing it. And some of the names that have creeped up are Chasey and Someday. And I think it would be hilarious because also in the mid pool, you have Abadage, who's being considered like by people. So there's Abadage, Vladdy's in there as well. But there is a outside chance that the 100 Thieves top side actually play in the LEC. Someday, Closer, Abadage could all be playing with K Corp in the next split. We'll see. I haven't heard how confirmed anything is. Yeah, the other names that we said, Chasey. I even saw somebody throwing out Marin's name. Like Marin might be able to come back and play. That seems so weird to me.
Oh no, please don't have Mar in play. Oh no, that's so troll.
I don't believe that at all. But these are people that are going to be coming into K Corp. I mean, there's going to be changes to K Corp almost 100% when it comes to mid and top. And I think that this is what the team.
Yeah, you can't keep Saken. That guy's complete ass doo-doo water. That guy's complete trash. That's nope.
Team needs. We saw Socken play for 2 splits now. We saw him play 4 years ago, by the way, in Vitality, and it looks like he hasn't improved at all. He just doesn't look like he's LEC level. I've said it before. I did Power Spike, and I talked about it before. It does not look like Socken actually has any strengths. People were like, oh, what does that mean? Like, he has no strengths. Well, when I look at
Socken can't play aggressive. He can't roam properly. He CS's like shit. He doesn't play for his bot lane. He also doesn't play for his top laner. He has terrible synergy with his jungler. And he, even when he gets kills, is never pressing his lead. Why would that be a conscious debate people would have for themselves when we saw this guy completely run it down for 2 splits straight?
mid lane, I think that there's different things that you can be good at mid lane. It's a very versatile role.
Socken is good at nothing. Socken is quite literally good at nothing.
You can be good at control mages. And if you're good in control mages, normally what that means is you're a strong laner, and then you understand how to create space in team fights. You know how to play around choke points and make the most out of your big AoE abilities when it comes to fighting around Drake, or, you know, just holding off certain vision, certain pockets of vision when you're playing around Baron, hiding your ball on the wall on Orianna, things like that, and just really like making it hard for the enemy team to walk into certain areas. Socken is not good at that. You think about his Nico play. He wasn't good at engaging. He had one nice like Nico trick. Probably the best play I saw from him was when he had I believe it was a Varus ult thrown at him. He turned it to a minion. That's nice. That was a cool play.
Remember the play where Socken quite literally just Nico ulted for no reason, threw his team the game? Yeah, I remember that too.
When I think about
remember when Socken was chewing gum in people's ears on stage? Yep. we would have been fighting in the streets that same day.
Yep.
Motherfucker is chewing some Skittles.
No, he wasn't chewing, smacking. That was that's what black people we call smacking. He was smacking. I was like, this nigga, this.
Imagine playing Pokemon next to a guy on a table and he's smacking his lips like that.
Oh, I've had that in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, yo, nigga, what the fuck you chewing on? Smacking like a damn goat. The fuck? They got
Nico. Like, what skills do you need to play Nico well? I think number one is like creativity, understanding what you can transform into to really just like make yourself catch people off guard. Like we saw, for example, Zwairu turning into a plant in the middle of river, like turning into turning into the honey. That was pretty creative. That was interesting. You're able to get it engaged. Understanding flanking is something that's really important when it comes to Nico. Like knowing where you can hide yourself and when to engage on the enemy based off where they walk up to. Like understanding when you have an angle, you can actually run in, get your flash R proto.
Okay, for anyone who just heard everything he just said, did that look like Sacken did any of that? No, he did none of those things. Not even just all of that. None of those things. Sacken is garbage.
About combo off and engage.
And he's never getting an LEC spot ever again. This was his last lifeline. You will never see him on an LEC team ever again. He tricked Vitality, and somehow he tricked Kameto to giving him a spot.
He's not good at that either. We saw as a Akali. Same problem with flanking. He doesn't have a good eye for flanks. I think about his actual like lane phase. Is he somebody who gets big leads in lane, but he doesn't know how to use them? No, he doesn't get big lane leads either. So when I think about everything that goes into being a mid lane player, I just don't really see what Socken is good at. There's nothing that I think that he has as a natural strength that they could index to and could make him like a great player. When you compare that to other people, like for example, Jackie's is somebody who plays melee champions pretty well. He has a good eye for like when he can engage. He has a good eye for kill thresholds. He plays Yone pretty well, Akali pretty well. You can see that being an angle, right? Kind of similar to how Cream was really good at melee champions when he was with OMG. When you look at the other rookies, you have Frescowy. Frescowy's really good at playing around bot lane. He understands the map well. He understands roaming. He's very cognizant of what his side lanes are doing. And he understands when he needs to sacrifice himself to enable those players. Makes sense to me. You look at Zwairu. Zwairu was somebody who played pretty well on Nico. And he also had a decent clutch factor. A lot of those games that he played in postseason when he was playing Azir, he actually was able to step up when his team needed him. He looks like an LEC player. I don't see any of that out of Socken. I see none of that. There's nothing that I see from him that makes me think that like this guy could be great one day. And even though I would say it's like a low possibility that the other guys I just mentioned, these rookies, end up being top players in the region or like better than Caps or something. Like, even though I don't see that happening, they have some skills where when you watch them play, you're like, okay, this is something that could make them stick around. Maybe for Scowy, it becomes like Niski 2.0. Maybe Niski retires for Scowy, becomes the new Niski in time. There's just no angle for Socken. So that's why these changes make a lot of sense for me. Players from KCB, except Kalis, still too young, and maybe Mainter. These issues can be promoted, but nothing is 100% sure. Later on, there's the Linkus problem. So Linkus is the jungler for KCB. The rumor is that he just rejected KC because he didn't want to be in the main team, and that's why he ended up going to Vitality, because he wanted to play with.
Yeah, and Douglas, he wasn't ready for the LEC yet. You could tell. They tried it. They gave him 2 splits, multiple playoff series, 2 best of 3s.
2 splits in the last couple of weeks of last summer.
Yeah. And also, if I'll be honest here, it wasn't also his fault on the synergy level. He just did not synergize with any of those players either. It's also his first time playing on stage. Yeah, he just wasn't ready. I think he could be an LEC player in the future, though I don't know if he'll get a spot again. Usually when these things happen in the LEC, it's kind of like the whole thing of like, what have you done for me recently? And, I don't know if it's going to get him back a spot anymore.
With Mac and Pat as his coaches. Not sure if this is true or not. This is just what everyone is saying online. That's why it's rumors. I'm just telling you what people are saying, so you don't have to go out and source everything and just like try to understand what people are saying. So Linkus is not going to be the jungler. Like they said, Closer is confirmed. And yeah, now they have to talk about Thanatos, because Thanatos, we can drop it now. Thanatos is joining Cloud9. It's officially been announced. He is a Korean prodigy top laner. He won LCK Challengers, I believe, with Dom.
Yeah, what was it? Is his name Thanatos or Thanatos? Thanatos?
Either one.
I don't know if he fixes Cloud. Okay, so he fixes the top side. He might potentially fix the top side issue. The reason I say might potentially is because him being in LCK Challengers versus being on an LCS team in a different country where he has new language, all that stuff. That's apply. Reaper will be able to help him with that, hopefully. Reaper was a top laner. He can potentially maybe break him in a lot more easier. I don't know if just bringing him in is going to... If people think he's going to fix the entire roster, that's not happening. They have a lot... Cloud9 had a lot of issues with mid to late game, early game pressure. Vulcan's still a huge question mark. I think if they really wanted to compete and do better, you probably switch up the bot lane. You get rid of Vulcan. You bring in somebody else, honestly. Look at JoJo and Blabber didn't work very well together at all. I just don't know if he's going to be the key to everything piece that they need. I think he is going to be an upgrade over Fudge, but I don't know, honestly.
One in 2023 with Lucid as the jungler. This guy's been hyped for a while. People love this guy. I don't watch LCK challenges. I can't speak to how good he is, but everyone thinks that he is going to be the real deal. From what I've heard from people with experience that watch that region, that watch Korean challengers, everyone says this guy is going to be insane. And Casey really wanted to get this guy. Turns out that Thanatos chose C9 over K-Corp because he wants to go to World. Cloud9 is a better place to go to World, so it makes sense.
That's true. Why would anybody go to KC? If you had 2 options, Carmine Corp or Cloud9 right now, even though Cloud9 obviously didn't go to MSI, you would still expect that they're one of the 3 teams that might be going to Worlds this year, right?
Yeah.
Is Carmine Corp going to be going to Worlds?
It's like choosing between the Cowboys and the Commanders.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think any team in the NFC East over the Commanders really. I don't give a fuck.
Like if we're being honest here, fucking what's his name? Carmine Corp ain't doing shit, guys. People have factor in. They finished so bad in these past 2 splits. It's just like what Warren said in the last episode. They literally have to make it to the finals and potentially win the finals to make it to Worlds. Okay, it's that bad. Okay. So, yeah, it would make sense you go to Cloud9.
Bo likely won't be playing in LEC this summer, not in LFL either. I think the Bo story is so sad, man. When I was watching the voice comms and when you just hear from people within the team, I mean, obviously Yamato talks on streams. He talks to the world of Bo. I feel like Bo is somebody who tried really hard and he just wasn't in positions to succeed. I feel like it is so fucking hard to play in a team like K-Corp where you have generally 3 losing lanes. Everyone on your team is losing all the time. And even if they're winning, they're not carrying those leads and ever winning the game later on. Playing jungle in a team like that is miserable, man. I've played jungle in teams that were bad, and it is such a horrible feeling when you just are suffocated. There's no vision in your jungle. There's no vision around lanes. You don't know where the enemy jungler is ever because no one's pushing out. The whole game just becomes suffocating. And Bo had to play like that for 2 splits within K Corp. Just seems really sad that he might not ever play competitive again. If he doesn't find a team until then, KC Bo in 2025 is not 100% sure. I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe they want him back in 2025. Who knows? Linkus buyout was not 25K, and the whole drama surrounding this move will be talked about by Kometo after EMEA Masters. Changes coming to coaching staff. Stake is already out, but there might be more. Just fire all the coaches, man.
Why does I don't know why Carmen Corp always does that. Fire the coaches, like, you know, it's not always the coach's fault. Maybe maybe your general manager just put together a shit roster. Like all these LEC rosters are just shit.
K Corp way. Fuck all the coaches, bro. Whatever. I guess the coaches are the problem. It definitely makes sense to fire the coaches and the players. Just fire everyone, man. It didn't work, so fire everyone. Okay, SK, no changes. The rumors of Bo to SK look like they're not happening. I've heard support changes have decent possibility, and that Exakick is more likely to stay than DOS, but who knows? Most likely the bot lane won't be playing together. Vitality, Linkus is in, but no more changes. So Linkus over Douglas. Dude, this is a tough for Douglas. Like, I don't think Douglas was good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Douglas was ready for LEC, but the fact that Vitality changed him, like, his career could just be completely fucked at this point. Like, his value might be so low because he was in a decent team and they only gave him 2 splits. I think that it would just make sense to have like Linkus go to K Corp, but obviously the reasons for that we already discussed, and then Douglas stay in Vitality. But yeah, didn't end up happening. Giant X, mid and AD locked. Obviously, they're looking for a top. Jungle support uncertain. They've been doing tryouts with the Antonio and Juhan, but Wulu doesn't think they'll go for them. Interesting, because people were talking about the Antonio as if he was already like guaranteed signed, but Wulu says that most likely the Antonio won't end up being in the team. Okay, Fnatic G2, no changes.
Yeah, Juhan, it got confirmed. Juhan, who was out with DRX in 2022 World, you guys remember that guy? He's going to be over Peach. I don't know how that fixes their issues, but fuck it, because, you know, reasons.
Mad Lions, no changes for now. Long-term project. Makes sense. BDS, no changes for now. 100% agree with this. I don't think these teams should change roster. Rogue, no changes are planned.
Oh, no. I think BDS should make a change. I don't think their roster is that good at all. I think they are benefiting from how shit these other teams are, honestly. G2 and Fnatic, I think Fnatic should make a change, but that would be in top lane. And yeah, G2 could stay the same. It's fine. Obviously, they're winning everything.
Heretics, no infos. Let's talk about the Cloud9 change briefly, which is that Thanatos has been announced for Cloud9. We talked a little bit about it. This guy is considered super, super hype. He's supposed to be a better mechanical top than, for example, Castle, right? So this guy is supposed to come into the league and be an LCK challenger top that comes in and just smashes people in lane. I think that that's fine for Cloud9, but I'm not sure that this makes them an insane team. They had a lot of problems that weren't just related to fudge and laning. It felt like this team had a big issue with knowing how to fight. And unless Thanatos is coming in and he is confident enough to really like dictate when people are fighting, I could see C9 having a lot of the same issues. Also, top lane is an isolated role. Most of the time, you're not actually interacting with the other lanes in the early part of the game. So it's very hard for him to call fights. Normally, you just need your jungle support to have a really good idea about fight timers. And I think a lot of C9, it felt like JoJo was trying to overforce because people just weren't doing enough. Yeah, I mean, overall, this makes their super team an even more super version of a super team. So that's been announced officially. Let's see how he does. I mean, I'm hyped for him.
Whoa. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Thank you, ads.
I think he'll do well. I just don't know if Cloud9 will be significantly better than they were. Maybe it makes them top 2. Maybe they win. But even if they win, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have like hit some like ridiculous plane. Like their goal is to obviously make at least top 8 of Worlds. I think that should be the goal of the best teams of NA and NDU. At least top 8. Top 4 is like a stretch goal. If you make top 4, amazing. But generally top 8 should be the bar. If you hit top 8 at Worlds, you've succeeded. If you don't hit top 8 at Worlds, you failed. There's obviously some things that you need to consider, like how the group stage actually works. With the way that Swiss stage is set up at Worlds, you can get to group stage or get out of Swiss stage pretty easily, I should say. I mean, maybe not easily, but you can get through it a lot easier than some other teams can get through it.
It's literally just a randomization. World format is so shit. Just the random shit they were doing last year at Worlds. The fact that MSI is a better format than Worlds is saying something.
Really just depends on the draws, when you become a 2-1 team or a 1-2 team, do you draw one of the 2-1 or 1-2 teams that are extremely good, or do you draw a team that is just like mediocre? So we'll see how that actually ends up working. And there's a high possibility that an Asian team ends up not making, by Asian I mean LPL, LCK. There's a high chance that an LPL and LCK team do not end up making it to the quarterfinals just based on draw. I think there's something like last time, I think there was like 66% chance that one of those teams will not end up making it, purely based off the fact that they are going to cannibalize each other, because they will end up a lot of times having to play against each other at some point. All right, last rumor I wanted to talk about, and this one is the one that's most exciting to me. Obviously, I'm an LPL fan, but I think this rumor is insane. So the rumor is that Breathe and Tarzan will be joining Weibo in summer. So Breathe joining from RNG, and Tarzan joining Weibo, where he has just been absolutely killing it on the ladder, bro. There was a point where Tarzan was rank 1. He was like 300 LP.
Tarzan and Breathe are going to join Weibo. That would be pretty strong for them. I watched a few of Weibo's games this year. I didn't watch as many Weibo games as I did last year, but I think this would be better for them. That top side they have is really, really jank, honestly. But that covers most of it. Licorice is also going to be joining Dignitas. So Licorice is now going to be getting a team, like we know
he just take over from Rich?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. Rich looked like he was just running it down anyway. It doesn't look like he really wants to be here, or does he didn't have that much faith in just the org in general or the league,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
There's anything else to discuss in today's episode. I think the one we're going to do on Thursday is going to be an LCS spring split recap, where we can talk about the Cloud9 issues and the other issues with the LCS actually. But yeah, do you want to say anything else before we head out of here? Actually,
nah. Okay, first of all, Double is an idiot, but we've been here about that. Nothing else really. It's like, I think top 3 teams I got are BLG, Genji, T1 in that order. I think everybody else could. Top esports is 4th, and then everybody else is literally just you flip a coin. It's like, it says like I would put G2 5th, but that's like, okay, who you think is better than ever Team Liquid? Like, it's like that's the thing. It's like after that, it's like, okay, all right, that's what I'm saying. That's the other thing too. It's like, who you think is better between them two? In a sense, it's one of those things where like it's 50-50 for me, but I do like JG. I do believe the final shit it's gonna be BLG and somebody. I don't know who yet.
Yeah, or it could not be that this year, and it could be like T1 could be in the finals against Top. Who knows? Like, it just depends. Like, when it comes to these international tournaments, sometimes the things that people think are going to happen, I don't know how many of those instances have they completely 100% worked out. We could have a tournament where maybe it's Genji Top and BLG just choke their asses off. We could have it where it's last year where it's BLG versus Top in the finals, or who knows? Given how coin flippy on some instances, Top Esports is G2 could make a final, but they're the only hope in the West to make a final, potentially, hopefully, maybe, Let's be honest here. The LCS teams and Fnatic are basically just playing spoiler. Let's be honest, Team Liquid ain't doing shit. If Team Liquid make the final, that means this MSI was dog shit. Good lord. Like, do we think Team Liquid will even win a best of 5 against one of these teams beside G2 and Fnatic?
I don't even think they beat G2. I really don't think they do. And I hope Team Liquid don't got a fake game. We saw how that fucking went last year.
Shit. That shit's crazy, Well, you got anything planned coming up on your channel? Or you just be doing the Pokemon thing?
Just Pokemon. I still like to get this whole thing copyright thing about the Chris Brown diss track reaction. That shit was crazy. That song wasn't violent. It was just holy shit. How's this motherfucker out rapping rappers? Holy crap. But yeah, Chris Brown put his foot in Quavo's ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nuts. Other than that, not too much. I'm out here just playing Pokemon the League. Like usual. Yep.
Yes. And thank you guys for showing up and watching this episode of the Cloud9 podcast. The next Cloud9 podcast episode will be this Thursday at 7 PST or 7:30 PST when we start. And we will be doing a recap of the LCS 2024 spring split. So congratulations to BLG as a first-time organization to win their first ever domestic title. They went from being a EDG sister team to an org in the LPL, and at the point now where they finally won their first championship. I remember when they first came into the league, actually. It's crazy that I was watching these guys with jank shit rosters for many years until they finally won a title. So it's nice and cool to see when those things happen. So I will be dropping more pre-recorded content for you guys actually as well. I know I told you guys I'm sticking with the whole 3 uploads a week. We've been able to have the Cloud9 podcast actually, and we've been able to have like the weekly Rogues gallery that I can actually, co-stream that through Iron Oxide side from. So that counts technically as your 3 uploads actually. But I will be putting out more pre-recorded content. I have been recording it. Just give me some time to get it done. I have been mirroring the content here and on Rumble, actually. So tonight, before I do my Sunday Funday episode with Professor Savage Dad, I'm going to be working on getting more Rumble videos downloaded from more videos that I did from this channel and upload them to my Rumble channel, because that way if you want to watch on Rumble, you can just watch there. So yeah, trying to make sure I back up and save most of the content now. And if you want to watch on Rumble, this show will be on there eventually after I put out all my pre-recorded content from here on there. And if you are listening to this episode on the podcasting platforms, thank you so much for watching and listening to the show wherever you consume your podcast. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend and have a great week coming up, and we'll